everybody. We have the opportunity to sit down with Savannah, who is the cruise director on the Carnival Miracle. And we just want to have a conversation for a few minutes and learn about Savannah and about being on a cruise ship. We just have a few questions. I have them down here that we want to know as cruisers, and we know that a lot of you want to know also. So the first thing, Savannah is going to ask you to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Absolutely. Hi everyone. Hi YouTube. How you doing? I'm Savannah, as you said. This is a really good start. My name is Savannah. I am from Australia. I am a cruise director for Carnival Cruise Lines. What else about me? I've been a cruise director for like 4 years now, roughly, just under 4 years. It'll be 4 years very, very shortly. I love to party, I love to have fun, and I love people, and yeah, that's about it.
What motivated you to build a career in cruising?
Crazy that it was the love of cruising that did it, because I never had the aspiration to be a cruise director or be on a cruise. I went to a performing arts school when I was very young, and my housemate that I lived with used to work on cruises. He was a dancer for Carnival Cruise Lines, and he had some connections, and he said, you know what, you should audition to be a fun squad, just for fun, just to see if you get the job. And I honestly didn't know what the job was. I knew what a cruise ship was, I'd never been on one. And I auditioned just for fun and got the job, and I had just graduated from my performing arts school and had no idea what I was going to do. So I decided to just take the leap of faith and go on this cruise ship and see if it was good. And if it wasn't, in 6 months of my life, I can do something else, right? I was very young, it didn't matter. I fell in love with it. I got on board and it was everything I'd ever dreamed of but never even thought of before. A whole life that I never even knew existed, and I have been here ever since. And I just built my way up through, not even through pushing to become a cruise director. I think I developed my skills so much, and through the love of the job, it kind of just naturally developed, it's really cool. It's been an incredible experience, but a journey of just following what you love instead of going for the money or the career or something like that.
So you've been a cruise director for about 4 years?
Around 4 years now, yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Including pandemic time.
Yeah. How many people do you manage as a cruise director? How many's on your staff?
My direct staff has a team of 7 people at the moment. I'm a sub-manager of the entire entertainment department, so myself and the entertainment director are at the head of the department, and there are around 60 people in that department. So I am definitely a sub-manager of that, but I'm not the lead manager because I'm on stage most of the time. So if anything happens, our entertainment director, her name is Sammy, she takes care of all of the logistics, all of that side of it, all of the scheduling, and I'm definitely there for the team meetings and the manager meetings and stuff like that, but I don't lead the entire team. The direct team of 7 that I have, though, they are my babies. I look after them, I write those schedules, I hold their meetings, I hold their hands through trainings, all of that kind of stuff.
How long are most of your contracts 6 months long?
My contracts as a cruise director, we typically do 4 months, as it is a pretty intense job. It's very high energy, and it's a lot on the body as well. It's very fun, it's a very good time, but to keep that up for every single cruise back to back for 6 months, some people can do it, and if they do it, I mean, I bow down to you, congratulations. But 4 months is typically the amount of time that a regular cruise director will do.
And then you take time off before you get to
yeah, you take maybe a month off, month and a half, depending on what you want to do. I'd say the longest, maybe 2 months, yeah.
Okay. And do you always go to a different ship? Do you sometimes come back to the ship you were on, or?
Good question. At the moment, the entire fleet is basically doing whatever comes up. We used to have assigned ships that we would just go back to, so that those cruises that loved that ship and that particular cruise director could go to that ship and experience that experience, right? But now that we're back, and we still only, at this point, I think have 13 ships in service, so we're going to whatever ships are available at this time. I think once things roll back and we have all of our ships back in service, it'll be a little bit more consistent, and we'll have our assigned ships once again. But for now, I'm on the Miracle. I don't know how long I'm here for, and I have no idea where I'm going next. But that's okay. As long as I'm here, I'm fine with it. I don't mind. But prior to the pandemic, the inspiration, which we spoke about earlier, the inspiration was going to be my ship. I was assigned to that ship for the next 4 years. It was going to be my baby. Long Beach was my baby, and I was going to be here for being the 3 and 4 day cruise queen out of Long Beach. And then when the pandemic hit and the inspiration said bye, I was like, it was heartbreaking for me, absolutely heartbreaking. But with endings become new beginnings, right? So I'm thankful because I would have never had the opportunity to come on the Miracle, and this has been honestly a miracle. It's been an incredible experience. So of course there's happy endings.
If someone would like to join the fun squad, where do they begin? How do they get involved in that?
Fun squad. Number one, you got to be a fun person. You got to be a people person. That's it. That's all the requirements that you need. To become a fun squad, go online. There is a website. It is carnivalentertainment.com. They have a careers section. You apply through there. You can either do a video interview, or if you're close to Miami, they do in-person interviews as well. When things open up a little bit more, they go around the country and do in-person interviews. It's like all over the place. They'll send you emails that let you know when they're doing that. You can keep track of it on their website as well. I think at the moment though, they're just doing the video, like the self-tape. But there's actually no college requirements. There's no like things that you have to have in place for that. You just have to have that spark, that personality that's approachable, that's fun, and that likes to be around other people. That is the key thing that you need to have, and that's it. You can move up from there. You can develop your skills from there. We can train you and teach you once you're here, but you need to be moldable and a good time.
Do you study the demographics when it comes to a cruise? You say the demographics that is going to be on that cruise, and then change activities based upon that demographic?
Oh yes, we do. Yes, we do. Absolutely. I can tell you that a 3-day cruise from Long Beach on the weekend is very different from a 14-day cruise to Hawaii. Very different crowd of people, very different activities, very different amount of drinks being sold. It's going to be a different experience for the cruises on board and for the team as well. I work very, very closely with Sammy, the entertainment director, to write those schedules. We write them ahead of time. I think our Hawaii cruise that we do have coming up is at the end of November. We've already started writing the schedule for that because we want to make sure that we get the best experience for those particular guests, and we know that it's going to be particularly different to the current 3-day cruise that we're on right now. They're not the same crowd of people. They enjoy quieter activities more than they enjoy the bigger activities, and so we have to focus on giving them more things that are indoors, that are quiet and fun, but like still spark joy in them. So yeah, it's definitely something that we research, that we look into, and we take time. It does take a lot of time to figure out what's going to be best for that group.
Have you seen a change in the demographics since we started the restart?
Yes and no. I definitely have, but I think what it is it's not that it's a different group of people that are cruising than before. It's less. Because on the ship right now, we only have 1,700 people. This ship can hold just under 3,000. And we used to sail at capacity every single cruise. So we used to have a full ship. So things feel different. But I wouldn't say that it's because the cruises are any different. It's like last cruise, we only had 1,000 people on board.
Wow.
700 less than this one. So you can imagine this one feels somewhat empty. 700 less last cruise.
Wow.
It's, for you guys, it's great because there's no lines. You can get a seat wherever you want. Yeah. At the Trivia's, there's plenty of room for you. It's the dining room. Oh goodness, you can get a seat straight away at the dining room. As a cruiser, it is absolutely fabulous, and for us, it's not bad either. The only difference is some of the parties aren't as big, and some of the crowds in the theaters aren't as big as we're used to. But the people that are there are ready to have a good time. And I don't know, you were at the deck party last night.
Yes.
It was still pretty good.
It was. Yep.
Still with half the amount of people on board, we could barely fit anyone else on that Lido deck. So people are showing up and still ready to have a good time.
I think the one thing that we noticed the most, we love the Serenity area.
Oh yes.
And before the pandemic, it was hard to find a clamshell or hard to find a seat. And now you go up there and there's always something available.
Free. It's free.
Crazy.
Okay, you go to Lido deck and you get the food straight away.
Yeah.
No line.
Yeah.
I do like that about it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's not going to last. Don't get used to it.
Yeah, that's true.
We're coming back slowly, babe.
Did you have to change or stop any of the standard entertainment because of the protocols and because of COVID?
Yes, a lot of it. a lot of it. Let's start with, there's Carnival Tower, Jenga. Can't do Jenga anymore. Multi-touch. Anything that is considered multi-touch, where I'm touching it and then you touch it as well, can't do it. So a lot of our games that we were doing, Trivial Pursuit, Sorry, like a bunch of our games that we were doing, just like the Fun Squad games that were in the lobby and stuff like that, we can no longer do those. We're trying to find alternatives that are COVID safe. It takes time to develop those activities, so we're slowly rolling in with new activities. We have Wheelie Trivia, which is very similar to Trivial Pursuit, but it just has none of the touching in it and none of like the dice and all the pens and stuff like that. And we've taken a lot of that away, as well as the big trivia parties that we used to have in the lobby. Every single night between the shows, we would have a massive trivia party, 80s, Motown, 70s, rock. But because of COVID, CDC regulations tell us that we can't have a mass group venue indoors where people will be singing and dancing close together, because the spit particles will go on each other. And mandating that group of maybe 300 people to wear a mask is very difficult. So Carnival has just said absolutely not to those parties for now. And they honestly were my favorite part of the cruise. Those 80s parties were, I can't wait till we get them back. We can still do the deck parties because they're upstairs in open areas, and that's fine as long as it's not indoors. But those kinds of big trivia parties are not, they're not as effective on the Lido deck, we've found. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to come back.
Can you share one of your most memorable experiences since in the cruising industry that you have?
One of my most memorable experiences, I would say, personally, for me, my most memorable experience, we used to have a game show, which we no longer do it either. It's a Hasbro the Game Show. Have you seen it before?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
My first cruise as a cruise director, I ran out onto the stage and there was roughly 1,000 people in the audience, all cheering, all screaming, and it was the first time I'd ever experienced that, and that it was for me. And tears welled up in my eyes, and I get chills thinking about it right now. And it wasn't a particularly crazy show. Nothing crazy happened in that show, but whenever I think about the job and the feeling that I get and the reason that I do it and I keep on going back, I think about the feeling that I got in that show and the love and excitement in that room. It was just the joy that cruising brings to people, and the effect that I can have on that is no end. Yeah.
What is your favorite activity to host on the ship?
My favorite activity at the moment to host on the ship is the Love and Marriage Game Show. Without a doubt. Look, it's funny every time. It's different every time. It's spicy. I can be a little cheeky with it. It's the one activity where I can just let loose and everyone is laughing. People are in tears by the end of it. It's good.
Now, our final question is, if somebody is interested but hesitant in booking a cruise right now, what is the best advice that you could give them?
If you're hesitant, it means it's probably because of health protocols. Know that Carnival is one of the strictest cruise lines when it comes to our health protocols here on board. There's no real advice I can give you, but I can give you some reassurance that we are doing everything in our power to ensure that people are safe, our crew and our guests included. We are staying on top of it. We've had no issues since I've been on board, and I haven't heard of any before that, and that is due to people want to keep on cruising. People want this to keep going, so they're following the rules. They're staying safe. They're sanitizing their hands. They're wearing the masks, because if they don't, that could mean that cruising won't come back again. And I hope that's reassuring to people that coming on board, it's different, and people are taking it seriously. They really are.
Very cool. Well, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to spend some time with us.
Of course, my pleasure.
And anyone that's looking at booking a cruise, I do highly recommend that you book the Carnival Miracle. Great staff, great time, whether it's a short 3-4 day cruise or the Hawaii cruise. Great staff, and you would really enjoy yourself. Highly recommend you to book this one. Thanks for joining, guys, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.